This morning, when staff at the European Parliament opened their browsers, the search engine was different. Google is no longer the default. In its place, there's Qwant, a French privacy-focused search engine that does not track users, does not collect personal data, and does not operate under American legal jurisdiction. The change affects every computer in the Parliament, that is 720 lawmakers and thousands of assistants and administrative staff. Officials told lawmakers in an email that the switch is being made in line with the Parliament's commitment to digital sovereignty and the protection of users' personal data. A few more days from now, on June 9th, a coalition of European technology companies will publicly release EuroOffice, which is a sovereign alternative to Microsoft 365, built by Ionos, Nextcloud, Eurostack, XWiki, Open Project, and several other European firms. It includes web editors for documents, spreadsheets, and presentations with real-time collaboration, which is a familiar interface designed to feel like Microsoft Office, and full compatibility with existing Microsoft file formats, all governed by European law and hosted on European infrastructure. So in the space of 1 week, the European Parliament replaced Google, and the European technology sector is releasing a replacement for Microsoft Office. Both are happening in June 2026, and neither is a coincidence. My name is Elle, and I use data analysis to spot patterns in geopolitics and economics, and the pattern here is that the entire American software stack that European institutions have depended on for decades is being systematically replaced, not in a single dramatic announcement, but in a rolling sequence of decisions that are landing one after another, week after week, each one building on the last. Start with what's happening today. This morning, June 4th, the European Parliament switched from Google to Qwant. Also today, the European Commission unveiled the Tech Sovereignty Package, the legislation that will formally restrict American cloud providers from handling sensitive European government data, require European preference procurement for digital services, and establish new rules on chips, AI, and cloud computing as part of the Commission's Buy and Use European program. Two announcements on the same day. The Parliament replacing the search engine on the same morning, the Commission publishes the legal framework that makes replacing everything else mandatory. And then on June 9th, EuroOffice launches publicly on GitHub. We have a separate long video analysis on that for the full deep dive. Ionos CEO Achim Weiss said, with the geopolitical developments we have seen in the last year, there is a clear need for a reliable, fully Microsoft-compatible and easy-to-use sovereign Office solution in Europe. The suite is designed specifically for public authorities, education systems, and enterprises that need to move away from Microsoft 365 without losing functionality or forcing staff to learn an entirely new interface. The first release includes documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. Collaboration features are built in from day one. And because it is open source, any European government, university, or company can deploy it on their own infrastructure without any licensing fees, without American servers, and without the Cloud Act applying to a single byte of data. If you've been following this channel's playlist on European digital sovereignty, the next few weeks are going to be the most significant period this channel has ever covered. I have very exciting content coming up on this front, so if you're not already subscribed, now is the time. The Parliament switch to Qwant is part of what the spokesperson described as a larger framework of actions aimed at reducing EP reliance on non-EU digital tools and promoting European-based privacy-focused services. That framework is not vague. It is operational and it is expanding. France announced in April that its entire government is migrating from Windows to Linux, a sovereign operating system switch affecting every ministry and public institution in the country. France also announced it is replacing Microsoft Teams and Zoom with Visio, which is a domestically developed video conferencing platform across all public institutions by 2027. Ecosia, the German search engine with over 25 million monthly users, switched its AI system to a European model provider just last month, and Switzerland has already begun migrating government infrastructure away from Microsoft to domestic alternatives. If you're trying to understand how to read through institutional announcements and see the structural pattern underneath, my book Awake: The Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Self-Lies is available as an ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and you can grab the first chapter for free in the description links below. The timing of all of this, however, is inseparable from what happened 2 weeks ago in the Netherlands. Microsoft was caught sharing the names, email addresses, and meeting minutes of Dutch civil servants with the United States House of Representatives, unredacted with full identifying information, because the US government considers the EU's Digital Services Act to be censorship and wanted to know who was enforcing it. Microsoft had no legal ability to refuse the request under American law. The Cloud Act compelled compliance. The civil servants whose identities were handed over could now face travel bans or personal sanctions from Washington for just doing their jobs enforcing European law. That incident, which this channel covered the day it broke, did more to accelerate European tech sovereignty than any policy document or summit declaration could have achieved. It proved with named individuals and named consequences that running European government operations through American software means American law applies to European officials whether Europe consents or not. The replacement architecture is now being built across every layer of the software stack simultaneously. For search, Qwant is replacing Google at the Parliament, Ecosia switching to European AI. For office productivity, we have EuroOffice launching June 9th as a sovereign Microsoft 365 alternative. For operating systems, we have France migrating from Windows to Linux. For video conferencing, France replacing Teams and Zooms with Visio. For cloud, Thales wrapping Google's technology in a European legal cage around S3NS in France and a new entity in Germany. Stackit providing sovereign cloud to the Dutch government. KPN and Thales building a sovereign military cloud for the Netherlands. For AI, Mistral building hyperscale data centers on European soil financed by European banks. ASML funding it, the EU building 5 AI gigafactories. Then for satellites, we have IR² replacing Starlink dependency, the Commission blocking Starlink from the 2 GHz spectrum band. Then, of course, for payments, we have Wero building a continental system that routes around Visa and MasterCard. Each of these decisions was made independently by different institutions in different countries for different immediate reasons, but they are all moving in the same direction. They are all accelerating, and they are all landing in the same compressed window of time. It doesn't sound like coordination in the formal sense, but it is a form of convergence, the moment when dozens of separate institutions arrive at the same conclusion simultaneously because the evidence pointing towards that conclusion has just become impossible to ignore. I think EuroOffice will likely achieve adoption across at least 3 EU member state government systems within 18 months of its June 9th launch. Qwant's installation as the Parliament's default search engine will probably become the template for other EU institutions. The European Council, the European Commission's internal systems, and EU agencies will follow within 12 months. The tech sovereignty package published today will likely establish the legal mandate that makes these switches not just recommended but required for sensitive government operations. And June 2026 will probably be remembered as the month the European software stack stopped being American, not because of a single dramatic huge decision, but because every institution on the continent looked at its screen on the same morning and basically concluded this has to change, and then just changed it. But the software is only sovereign if the data underneath it stays in Europe. I made a separate video on how Microsoft got caught leaking Dutch civil servants' identities to Washington and how the Netherlands had already signed the contract to move that data to European infrastructure before the leak even happened. That's the one that I would watch next. Thanks so much for watching this one. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.